We are red. Red is on.
Being 4:49, I'll call the Tilton Sewer Commission, the Tilton Board of Selectmen's meeting. Wrong hat. That's why I shouldn't have been named this. May 24th meeting to order. Let the record show that Selectman Scanlon is not presently with us. And now could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Another reason why I'm not too
Should we wait for Nathan?
He should be here in a second.
That's John.
Oh, that's John. Yay!
I know those feet.
We just started, John. He arrived.
Pledge has been done. That's it. Huh? Not quite. Hopefully.
There are no minutes. We briefly talk about it next week, so I'm not going to be here. Hello.
Thank you. I can hear you now.
You're welcome. Can we briefly talk about next week, please? I'm going to be absent. Ashley, are you here next week? Monday is a holiday and staff only has 2 days to get ready for next week. So it's a short week. So I didn't know how other board members felt about even having a meeting on May 31st.
There was nothing on the calendar.
What do you think?
May 31st is the last day for the administrator applications. Do we need to do anything with them?
We do not.
They're going to present them the week after to us.
Well, I want to start reading them after the 31st. So if nobody objects
Make them available
on the 31st.
31st. Sound good? All right. Third?
I thought we were
Friday
going to...
morning.
Okay, so I thought we were going to allow the town administrator and the staff to pick the top 5 and then,
Or 8, because we now.
or 8 or whatever, and then present them to us, and then if we wanted to peruse the rest of them, we could.
Yes, through this whole thing, I've always said I would like to read all of them.
Okay, got it. I have no problem with that. I don't
Yeah.
have an issue with it, but
Accessible, stop ever, anybody can stop in.
So other than that, there's nothing else pressing, right?
Nothing exciting going on. You're gonna need us. Chief.
nothing.
Tony Randall said hello.
I'm here
Oh,
anyway, so
yeah.
I don't care what you guys are gonna do, it's fine.
Doesn't matter.
Unless there's some emergency or something pressing that we'll have to meet. But I don't think we can meet Wednesday.
Okay.
We'll make sure that,
Yep.
comes in plan.
So unless it's emergency.
Right.
Okay.
Or pressing. It's interesting to know what's the emergency, what isn't.
Well,
Okay, so the next thing is Chief's update. We're way ahead of schedule here.
Yeah, he should be here in 2 minutes,
Okay.
3 minutes. He's coming down from the PD now, he said.
Thanks.
Yep.
What else do we have going on tonight?
we have a public meeting.
Town administrator.
You know what we have to do? We
Six.
gotta get those employees public evaluation forms.
Improvements up by Masco Market.
Oh. I thought that they wanted to go.
What's that?
The employee evaluation forms.
The employee evaluation form was okay. It was the one going to the employee.
There were a couple of questions about that. I want to see if we need to refine
Unless we
it.
get to that tonight.
Questionnaire.
Yes.
I have self-appraisal developmental questionnaire. And we'll want to questions were, or what?
I think the last question, I don't have it.
I think Evan said something about supervisors.
I had a couple of, I had a question about C.
Oh, C, okay.
What were your major contributions and your achievements during this review period? Now, if that was on the evaluation that you have a conversation with the reviewer, I can see it, but on this one, where you're evaluating yourself, it's kind of redundant.
Well, what, where?
And I didn't think the supervisor's response should be on the self-appraisal developing questionnaire, because I don't think you create an opportunity for the supervisor to say, do you feel your capabilities of being fully utilized on your present job? Do I want the supervisor to contradict what I feel? I don't. As if I was an employee.
Maybe we can define what this is. Maybe we can define what this particular.
Well, I like the question. I'm just saying, the supervisor shouldn't respond on this form. It's one thing for the supervisor to have a conversation, or if you're going to take this control away.
Which is fine, like I said, I don't.
But to have it, I wouldn't have that there. And I think,
This was
Oh, I don't like this at all.
I think
No.
C, I just, what was your major contribution?
Nobody's gonna answer
Filling out
this.
this form?
The first question, A, there's like 6 questions in that one question. I would just be so peeved if my work handed this to me. All of this stuff, like, do you feel capabilities are being fully utilized on your present job? What changes would you like to see made in your present job that would help you improve your performance or further your career goals? Suggest actions you would like your supervisor to take to help you accomplish your goals. What skills do you have which you feel could better be utilized on the job? That's one question. I just feel like people don't want to answer that.
So is this maybe for the employee just to prepare himself or herself for their evaluation? And it goes nowhere?
I don't think we should give this to people personally. I think it's a lot.
The last question in A is kind of insulting. What skills do you have which you feel could be better utilized on your job? Suggests that you're not utilizing the skills that you have that you know you have that you could use on your job. But
That's why we're reviewing it.
Yeah, I do. I think it's too much.
I
It's too much to ask somebody to answer all this.
Yeah,
When they're already answering an evaluation that's very lengthy.
What I look at is this the evaluation of the employer with the employee. But sometimes what the employer and the supervisor sees is not what the actual employee is believing and what they think. And it's really helpful to have them answer how they feel about their job, how they perceive their job, as opposed to what the employer and supervisor is feeling.
But also, it should be on the same form. So the employee is reviewing themselves, and it's compared to their supervisor reviewing them on the same basis. You're asking these questions, but it's not reviewed by, that's not what their raise will be based on.
No, it's not.
Doesn't make sense.
It's helped, the whole idea is review to see how people are doing, how employees are feeling and doing that. And this isn't part of the review. It's preparing for the review and also getting an idea of where the employee is at. When you're sitting down with your employer and your supervisor, you're not going to answer things quite the same or have the same amount of time. And you're going to be steered more towards what the employer wants. This is how you feel.
But
You don't have to fill it out.
typically, we fill out, the employee performance review is not filled out with the employee. It's filled out when the employee gets to review it as a conversation that takes place. This one says, I mean, right at the top, it says, this questionnaire needs to be completed and turned into your supervisor prior to the performance evaluation, so that it appears that this, answers to this, how do you feel about yourself, is going to have an effect on this. but I don't think it should. It's one thing if, if we want to have the employee to self-evaluate themselves, and sometimes that can be helpful. But I don't think it should be hinged on this. I think it should be just that. This is what, so I'm an employee, this is what I think about myself. But I don't think that should be part of this. And I do think a couple of the questions are interesting.
So this could just basically be for them to take or not, and it won't be, it doesn't go anywhere except.
This is filled out by the employer. You never really find out how the employee feels and how they feel about themselves. And the employers, they look at things differently. And this is the one opportunity to take the information, how the employee feels, how they feel they're doing, how they feel they've progressed, and share it with their employer, their supervisor, so that they can develop things from there.
If
And
that's,
if you just do this only from the employer's side, questioning an employee, you're only getting a one-sided part of it, and
I
then
think that
under
that's-
duress.
I think that if that's the case, and if that's the intent that we want, if that's the end result that we want, then I think we need to word the questions on that end of the evaluation just a little bit different as far as the employee self-evaluation is concerned. Because you want the employee to look at what their retrospect is on their job and their job performance, and how they can better themselves on their job, where they want to be in their job, and how they feel that they can get there to do it, what they need for the tools, and if they need help to get there. So I think that the wording of the questions need to be just a little bit different if that's our intent to do it. And I'm agreeable with that. We just need to word it a little bit different, that's all. So,
Why can't these questions be on the regular paper that they're both evaluating?
Because-
These sort of.
some of them are.
So what makes you think that they're going to
Here's
answer
what-
differently?
Because usually what happens is, we get these back, the reviews from the supervisors, and many times there's not even some comments on it. They just check boxes, everybody's doing great. This stimulates to have the employee interact with their supervisor in what areas they need to look at. Because year after year, we get the same thing.
We've been turning
Check,
it
check, check.
back because
Send it
nothing's
back.
been checked. There's
And
no reason.
It's like they never really met with the employees. It's like some
What
of
they've
the
been
supervisors say, hey, you're doing a great job, keep it up.
What they've been doing actually is just checking off, 1 through 3, or giving them a number and saying, okay, this is evaluation, but there's no reason behind that. This is why I'm giving them this is why I've been giving them, and so we've
No, I
been,
did. I did it.
right, we've been churning them back in the past, and each year they've been getting a little bit better, and a little bit better. And as they've been getting a little better, we've been getting a little bit better at trying to sense. One year we gave the employee evaluations, but then there was a mix-up of when the employee evaluations were going to do it. We gave them the evaluations, they signed off it, and then they gave the evaluations to themselves. It was meaningless because they didn't get a chance to have any type of interaction, and it really meant a lot to the
But these questions can be
evaluator.
put
to
into
hear
that
that.
form, so they both can answer them.
Right. I
That-
think
that's
the
all I'm saying.
evaluator needs to hear a little bit about what the employee has to say as well. So I think that's really important.
Like, what part of your job could you do better? Can we answer that?
I would,
What part of your job could you do better?
I did that,
I do my
I
job.
did that for like
I
20
do
years
my
ago.
whole job.
Well, then, okay, so
I think it's a good start.
You guys can do it.
we're gonna
I
jump,
don't want to do it.
we're gonna jump into, back onto the agenda here, and we're gonna have the chief's update.
You signed the
Hey, guys.
Say, uh-oh.
This is, I want because we have 3 people here, and Nate's talking, so this is an I
I mean, we
want.
can,
Got it.
Are we talking about any employee in particular?
yes.
Is it detrimental? Is it public knowledge? Is it private? Is it?
As long as we're talking about an employee, I want it in public. Unless we're giving them an accommodation.
That's not what it says. So that's just a phrase.
Dismissal, promotion, or compensation of any public employee for disciplining such employee or investigation of any charges against him. Must be reported that open, which becomes or setting personnel, the hiring of any person of public employee. So,
That one.
dismissing, promoting, or compensating, discipline, investigating.
Is it detrimental? So let's just do non-public.
Let's just do it, if we have to stop
Is it hiring?
it. It's,
Not specifically, right?
Hiring?
They said at the
so
beginning.
it's one employee leaving for another job, dispatch, and then another one.
Why, that sort of stuff.
And then another employee that's part-time that, yes.
The reasons why it makes it non-public, is we need to know the reasons why. We need to know
I don't even know
somebody's leaving.
the reasons.
It sounds like
Be
it's
replaced if they
feedback.
don't.
Sure.
Yeah, we want feedback.
I would assume
Yes,
that.
I'd make a motion, we go into non-public.
Second.
Personnel.
But we need to know the reasons why.
I think you should, yeah.
We need a roll call.
It's not personal.
Give you a motion and a second to go into non-public session and pursuant to RSA 91A:3, paragraph 2, as it pertains to A
Personnel.
personnel.
But it's not just a personnel, it's specific. It's specific. You don't go into non-public for every
A
single
roll call
personnel
vote?
conversation.
St. John, yes.
Constantino, yes.
Fog, yes.
Scanlon, yes.
Dawson, no, absolutely no. We are red is on, time
Do we
being
need the chief
5:20.
for anything else?
I can stay to
I'll do whatever.
I don't know if we do the hearings or the discussion on the police part. Has there been any problems down there with parking, people going the wrong way on the one-way? In Winnisquam, over the street? No problems, nobody's called up, no fisticuffs, fighting and arguing, everything's copacetic.
Yeah.
Then I don't think we need to.
Did we going to have the chief check or somebody check out the parking lot and keep up the direction we
May
did?
Morris was going to be.
You know about that?
No.
Okay. Brock and Nate are going to meet together and decide what the safest way to enter and exit out of T-Hawk, and so we can put arrows going in and out.
Sign it. Make
Put
sure,
signs.
and make sure when they stripe it, the parking spaces are gonna go the
Lined
right
up.
way, lined up, and then the arrows are gonna go in, out, or in, out.
I think David talked to Brock too about steps on the. Good thing.
That was it? Okay. Okay,
There was nothing in that non-public conversation that couldn't have taken place in public, and that's the second time we've had a non-public.
I disagree. There were personal
That
life.
conversation could have taken place in public. There was no need to mention names, there was no need to mention some of the specifics. It was an FYI. That's all it was. Somebody's leaving. That we didn't specifically need to know them. Minute details of why they were leaving, but everything else was public.
The information pervaded. There was personal life changes that they were making in their life.
And that we didn't need to know.
But it was
But you
revealed.
just deprive the public of the whole conversation. That's why I say, when we go into non-public, it's not for
We didn't
employee
make a motion to seal the
issues.
minutes yet.
Well, I'm just saying, so they're gonna read it, but they couldn't hear it? You need to read what it says in that non-public language why you go into non-public, and be able to read it out loud. I'm just sorry,
Some of the information that was revealed during that, I think would have been
it
best.
didn't have to be revealed, is my
But it
point.
was.
We're grown-ups. And grown-ups can discuss things in public without mentioning those things.
So,
Yeah, let's
do
move on.
we have a motion
We
to,
don't like that conversation, right?
I think,
I don't think it's resolved. This is the second time we've had a non-public that could have been public.
It's not resolved because we disagree with you, Catherine. That's why it's not
You're not grown
resolved.
up enough to discuss what we just discussed in
We
public.
can't talk about what was discussed in the non-public, or we would be gladly tell you that I
Non-public.
feel some of that information that was
It was-
disclosed in the non-public would not have been able to be disclosed in a public.
And it didn't, some of that didn't have to be.
yes, and that's why
It was-
here's what we could do. We could go and have the minutes of that meeting released with the personal information
Okay.
about somebody's personal life stricken from that. Correct? And everything else would be,
It's all right, move on. I will keep complaining. Move on. You don't get it. Go ahead. Okay, move on. Okay.
okay, so do we have a motion to seal minutes?
So moved.
Do we have a motion, second, to seal the minutes?
Well,
The
can
non-public
we
section?
not?
We can
seal
unseal the
but just
minutes as they pertain to
seal-
personal
Information.
push
get rid of it? Because I
information.
mean, I do agree with Catherine, however, I don't know that until we got all the information out.
I will make a
didn't know what he was
motion.
talking about.
Make a motion to seal only the parts of the information that is personal to the individuals.
I mean,
that we're
I
talking
didn't
about.
know what he was going to say.
That's,
Because he said-
that's the point. That's the point. When you talk about something in public, you know you're talking about it in public. So you know what you're supposed to say in public and not. And that's my point. That whole conversation was capable of having it in public. There was no decision for us to make. That was FYI. We didn't need to know minute details of somebody's personal life. What we needed to know is they were leaving, that there was an issue that they were leaving because of comp time, and they're gonna have to replace them.
So how can we do it better next time?
They weren't leaving because of comp
They weren't
time.
leaving. There was something different. There was a discussion of that, but part of the reason was personal life changes that,
But even if we
We
said it
should
all,
not-
do we have to say her
We didn't
name?
need to know that, to have that discussion with them. You may have wanted to know it, but we as a board of selectmen didn't need to know why, because we weren't gonna change that to keep them. They are leaving, period. The why.
but the main reason why they were leaving is because there's changes that are going on in their life. And our comp time would not allow for their changes.
And you just said it in public
What?
perfectly, and it could have been said in public just that way. Thank you for proving my
I'm
point.
just glad that they didn't feel that way in person.
They didn't need
So,
to.
Are
you
you still
we-
in non-public?
No.
we have a motion and a second on the table to go and seal the minutes of the non-public session. All those in favor say aye.
Only the,
Okay, we'll have more discussion. Any more?
I
Yeah.
said only the personal information about the individuals are to be
The name,
sealed.
about just the name.
The rest does not need to be sealed.
I agree.
Personal
Yep.
information about the individual needs to be sealed. Their life situation and so on needs to be sealed.
That's motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
The record show I declined to vote.
Okay, two more.
Okay, so, town administrator.
Oh, can I have a question on the to be signed stuff. On this, dumpster application, it says that documentation on Social Security wasn't provided. That's what it was.
I went through the file and that's all I have.
This is all you have.
Yeah, it may have been from a prior year, but we require a letter every year because the amount changes. Or we should require a letter every year because the amount changed. I know we did with one that you approved a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and maybe that's what I'm confusing. I just wanted to make sure because I thought it was. All right, thank you, Joyce.
For the disabled deferral, you do need to show a letter from the Social Security Administration.
Yeah,
You can't just say, oh, I'm disabled, or I got a note from my doctor.
yeah, perfect. Thank you.
I mean, they may be, but the statute's specific. Well, I have a confession to make. I was all prepared with my information to decide tonight, once and for all, the carpeting. And I can give you what I have. The piece that I'm missing, and I know I spoke to him, and I know I wrote it down, is on Home Beautiful, the amount for going carpet tile. And I looked at all of my notes, I scoured, and
Do you remember what he said?
I don't remember what he said. I know it's more. He had told me that it's more than the roll carpet.
What was last longer?
What was what?
Huh?
What was making the, didn't you say that those last longer or something?
They're easy to replace if you have a screw up anywhere where
Yeah.
wall to wall, you've got, live with it.
Well, that was my sense.
So,
Less moving will be quick, easier to move things, you don't have to clear the whole room, you can do half the room.
I did get the information from ADF, and they said that the cost of the new pad would be $750. Adding subfloor to the area where we've removed the carpet and are putting carpet tile, he said he felt that the floor didn't need it, but if it did, he put a not to exceed cost of $1,000, so that added $1,000 to his price. And he told me that he has the material in stock, he needs 50% to order, and then if additional floor preparation is needed, then he would charge it $25 an hour. So I apologize for that. I can give him a quick call before the meeting's over, or I can call him tomorrow morning, and then I can email you all the information. And then, plus it'll be in a little bit better format to compare. So, I'm sorry.
So we have a decision to make whether or not we want to go top carpet, tile, carpet, or BCT.
No, what we had narrowed down from the last meeting is we were comparing roll carpet with tile carpet, but keeping the VCT. There was the consensus of the board, because it was not unanimous, because we had one member that wanted all VCT, and another member could go either way, whatever.
And the BCT is going where?
The VCT, that the way we bid it, is going in the 2 hallways, and was going to replace the lobby. So the lobby tile would be taken up, and also going into the Human Services Director's office would also be VCT. And the meeting room. That was the important one, the meeting room. The reason that the quotations that include VCT are higher is because it's more expensive and time consuming to put down VCT than it is to put either carpet tile or roll carpet down. Also, there's a cost, an annual cost that you would have to budget for to, maybe not annually, but at least depending upon the where you would have to have the floor stripped and resealed.
The maintenance of the VCT, I
The
can
maintenance.
attest to. On the VCT, because we have it in the hallways, in the kitchen, up at the senior center, and we had it for years at the PD. the cost versus the carpet tile here at the town hall, I would definitely vote for the carpet tile, because if it got soiled or damaged in any way, we pick up that carpet tile and we replace it, it would be a whole lot cheaper than to have the entire floor stripped with 2 different stripping solutions and then waxed and then buffed. And you have that 2 or 3 times a year, it gets extremely expensive over a 20-year period where these carpet tiles are going to last us. If you add all of that up, it's much cheaper to go with our carpet tiles throughout and be done with it. It's easy to put down. You're not going to have the subflooring that you need, and the longevity of it with the maintenance is astronomical with VCT. Just the chemicals alone, are just redoing it, stripping it, and all of that. You have to do it on a weekend or an evening when, well, you can't really do it downstairs with an evening because the meeting rooms are all filled. So now you have to do it on a weekend, which is even more expensive. I vote for the carpet tiles.
How often do they do it at the police department?
Well, the police department, we did those little rubber knobby looking things now, and now they have VCT in the, is it just the hallway
I don't
runners
know,
now?
but I know they have VCT there.
They
But
have,
they also have those carpets that cost monthly.
The carpet runners.
Yeah.
yeah, well, we have VCT and we have carpet runners, but the carpet runners are for the main hall, but we have, they do that.
How often do they
Every-
do the floors in the police department, and what is the cost to do the VCT tiles? Do we know this?
They strip them and paint them once a year.
Once a year. Do we know
Oh,
what
no.
the cost is?
They strip them, don't they, once a year? Twice a year?
I think it's twice a year.
The VCT or the special rubber, I thought we got.
I know
Well,
those-
in
we got
the,
rid of all the VCT, and that VCT isn't that old, so I hope we didn't get rid of all the VCT.
in the squad rooms, in the squad room, in like Lisa's room, it's that rubber in the room where the prisoners, where they take them, that's that rubbery stuff. But in the hallway and downstairs in the training room, it's all VCT. I believe it's 2 times a year that they do that. I know our cleaning company does it 2 times a year up at the senior center.
That's the same thing. I don't know how much those cost, but I don't know if we have to hire somebody to come in and replace them when they need to be replaced, or is that something we do ourselves?
You can't do it yourself.
Public Works does. I don't know the replacement cost.
Big deal.
I don't know
I'd say
the
we should get an extra 10%. I'm sorry.
I don't know the life expectancy of them. It's hard for me to compare. And I don't have any type of company or town now. I don't even know from experience.
Who does it? The current cleaners? And that is, it's an additional amount to the monthly
Yes, it
amount we
is.
pay. That's as much as I know.
It would add to the cost of the contract.
Are these carpet tiles?
Those are
We
the
got a
ones
quote.
from
What was the quote?
ADF flooring.
What was the quote, Joyce, for the carpet tile?
Well, so far we have 2 quotes. One from M. Frank Higgins, and that's doing just everything carpet tile, and it's covering over the ceramic floor. They won't be pulling up the ceramic floor, and that's $17,487. For ADF, I have to add in the additional 1,000, up to 1,000 if they, oh wait, floor preparation. Yeah, he didn't think that it needed floor preparation, but the other 2 people giving estimates said, you want some floor preparation. So he put in a not to exceed figure of up to 1,000, but he didn't think he would need it. And he's keeping the ceramic tile. is
I
not
would keep
covering
this,
this.
I would go with the, keep the ceramic tile, but I would go with all copper tile downstairs. It's within our budget. Let's let Joyce just do it, get it done, pick it out, and go with it. Let her do it. We've been bouncing this now
And that's
for months.
17,000 plus 1,000.
Right, so
No, his would be, 60, right now it's 16,630.
Oh.
Again, that's keeping the ceramic tile. Well, the other's keeping it too, but he wouldn't be putting any carpet tile over the ceramic.
Right, I wouldn't put
I would-
copper
I would
tile
wanna
over
do
the
ceramic.
ceramic
And
either.
he said he can do nice transitions.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
His original quote was 16,630, but he said add up to 1,000, not to exceed 1,000 if he did need to replace some flooring somewhere.
Which one is this?
So his price.
ADF.
With the additional.
With the
1,000.
additional 1,000 is 17,630.
Well, within the warrant article that the folks approved, right?
Where is he located? Is this the one that's located in?
In Concord. The other is located in Connecticut, and they're, last time I ran this, they were 3 to 4 weeks out, so it's probably now 6 weeks out.
I would go with that guy.
Is he
It's
using
easy.
these tiles?
Pardon me?
Are these the tiles the guy in Concord's using?
Yes, those are Concord ADF.
Is there a lifetime fiber performance for wear, lifetime fiber performance for static, lifetime stain removal? I don't know what that means. That means for you to stain, they're gonna remove it for free? Lifetime color fastness to light and atmospheric contaminants. Lifetime for tough binding strength, ledge, gravel, yarn folds, and zippering. And lifetime against delamination. Does that mean if they come unglued?
Right.
Well, they have a laminated pad.
So if one of these comes up for free, they're gonna come back and,
I don't know, he'd be more than happy to come in and talk with the board and answer all your questions. Oh,
Oh,
I'm reading.
okay.
I know, but let's get it done.
It is
So-
good to know if it's a stain, is he gonna come back? That's kind of how that reads, right?
So is he gonna create a contract for us?
Here, lifetime, in most things, when they give you lifetime warranty on this stuff, they'll warranty this, but you're gonna have to pay them to take it in and out. That's usually the way things work.
This is lifetime against delamination.
Labor,
When they installed the,
That's what I'm asking.
you're looking at what,
when they installed the carpet downstairs, Catherine, how long did they say it was warranted for?
I wasn't here.
Was it like 10 years or something, and how long has it been here?
I wasn't here. I have no idea.
Nobody knows how long this carpet downstairs has been.
It's been about, what, 20 years?
20 some odd years?
But that, we have a board.
Hold up the
That's
coat.
true. So, other than.
Catherine, hold up the colors.
So, the only thing I'm asking
Just let the public choose.
is he going to, well, I don't care about the color, Joyce can pick that for all we care.
Yeah, there is one of them, I have to go hold it up against the, we can get any color.
If we can,
Assume he's going to have some type of agreement that we're going.
Oh, yes, we would have a contract.
So I'd like to see those warranties in it.
Okay.
And a little bit more explanation about it.
Mhm.
So we are all are we all in agreement to just let Joyce go with it and get it done? And do the carpet job?
I was gonna go with Peter since you seem to have a lot of knowledge about this stuff and I don't. Why, sorry, you were putting carpet in your house.
you get thrown
you
under the
know?
carpet that way.
You know I'm anti-carpet.
The look was precious.
Well, I have nothing to go on. I have hardwood floors.
I'm anti-carpet because I have
You
pets.
know what we're doing?
Yeah.
Joyce, we're not having a meeting next week, by the way, unless somebody urgent.
So
What
let's,
type of warranty should we have?
Exactly what it says.
Material or labor too?
okay, I'll make a motion that we allow Joyce to pick the carpet out and make sure that we get a substantial warranty contract from the gentleman that we're getting the carpet from. We'll get carpet tiles.
That's
That's
his
at
carpet
17,000.
tiles. I want those warranties.
Well,
Okay?
I'm gonna let her negotiate the price. It's within the warrant article monies, I'm fine with that.
I'll second.
That's my motion.
Ooh, I don't hear a second.
I second.
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Make sure you have your big girl pants.
I will have my big one.
Okay, so there's motion, second. Everybody's clear on that, what it was? Okay, all those-
And the color, and Joyce picks the color out.
And then you know what we're having as far as your
Could be angry.
It's going to be all carpet tile, with the exception of the log with the ceramic.
The
will stay
ceramic.
And the hallways will have a different tread, a thicker tread. They call it a walk-on, walk-off. So that will catch all the dirt. And then the offices will have the same thing, only it's not as nubbled as that. So it'll be two different carpet tiles. Downstairs, I have the sample of.
So that's the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Go
Opposed?
forth and carpet.
So moved. That was easy.
In your
Joyce,
lifetime,
it's gonna
Joyce,
happen.
this is gonna happen. This is exciting.
I'm gonna roll in the carpet. Just to let you know, June 19th at 6 o'clock, the Zoning Board of Adjustment is having their rehearing
June 19th,
at 6.
6 PM.
That's it. So I'll go quickly through this. These are all just status reports, because last week I had hand surgery, so I couldn't, for the first few days, I couldn't type or do anything. And I came back to work. I should have stayed home the day that they did it, but anyway, I've got things to do. And then Gail was out Thursday, Friday, Monday, and today's Thursday already, so I don't know where the week went. But we're making progress on searching for the Charles E. Tilton heirs for the Island project. John Tagg, who did the research for the Winnisquam Regional School District, got back to me, and he shared with us all of his filings and decrees and pleadings and research that he has done. Unfortunately, he had to do research on the Eastman Weeks tree, part of the tree, because the original Charles E. Tilton was married twice. Once to Glenna Webb, and second to this Eastman. You were aware of that he had 2 wives? So the heirs to the island are the original Charles E. and the first wife, who, and I found this out, that Charles E. Tilton, the original, had a son, Charles E. Tilton, who they referred to as Junior, but there's no official Junior after his name, and that he had a son, Charles E. Tilton, that there's not anything official after his name, but I have seen in some places where they use a third.
Yeah, you have to go by the birthday.
Right. And then Charles E. Tilton was the third, was married to a woman, Glenna, Felsen, is that how the name Felsen got in there? But they had 3 children, Webb Tilton, S. Webb Tilton, yeah, it was Glenna Webb. S. Webb Tilton, Samuel Webb Tilton, who married Joy Tilton. They had 4 children. I thought they just had 2 daughters. They have 3 daughters and 1 son, and we know what states they live in, and one of them we have an address and a phone number. When he tried reaching that particular heir, everything was all set. Yep, I'll give you all the information, my cousins and brothers and sisters. And then communication was cut off, and he could not get a response from her. So, but Glenn and I will make that attempt. And then Glenna Felsen, who's deceased, has 2 children. And Charles Tilton didn't have any children, and he's deceased. So there's just a few that we have to research. So we have to make an effort to show what we did to try and find them. So we'll just Glenn and I can give it our best effort. And then I'm trying now to find out what the school district paid for their research, which was very extensive. But we can use as templates the pleadings, the formats, how to word it. So I think that if we do need legal services, it would really be for someone to actually just draw up the documents where you have to say what you did to find the heirs. And then the law also requires that you have appointed a guardian ad litem for people that, the heirs out there that are unknown. And he was going to give the information to the attorney that he used, saying that you know, that's what he does, and it probably wouldn't be that much money. So shortly, we should have a plan of action and a cost estimate before we go any further. And I believe I emailed all this to the board. And this is my information for tonight. Old Pony Road. It's the Pony Road survey. I've been in touch with Geico, and they said I need to send the information to another individual. So I wrote that letter 3 times at least. That's what I was doing most of the afternoon, Gail, and I kept changing it because I said, Joyce, focus on the issue. Focus what your goal is. What do you want to achieve? And so I finally sent that off. And I said, you've got to respond to me immediately. And I explained the whole situation. It was, I just sent that off. I'll forward that all to the board. And a couple weeks ago, you had asked me to notify a resident because a vehicle had been parked since August on a town road, town property. And the gentleman said, fine, I know, I'll move it. And he did come in yesterday and get the information he needed, and he has to go to Concord to get the title. And he said as soon as, which he went yesterday, and as soon as he gets the title, he'll be able to remove it.
Excellent.
He can't even donate it or sell it unless he has the title. If someone's going to be, using it for parts or whatever. Yeah, I think that's about all I've
I
accomplished.
have a question. I remember seeing somewhere that the barbecue was applying for a liquor license. You know the barbecue place down there?
The one
No,
down here
it's
by North
moving
Road?
to Jay's
They're
Marina.
moving into Jay's restaurant.
Oh, so they were applying for a liquor license.
Indoors.
Indoors, okay.
Last
That
night,
was my concern.
Are you going to talk about the senior center?
Outdoor, no liquor,
You talk about the senior center?
no real restaurant serving beer, just around outside.
Want to do that now?
Sounds good.
We have 5 minutes.
It's tough for the people who get it otherwise.
Later?
Yeah, do it under the seniors. And I did talk, I'm sorry. I did talk to Brock and told him that Monday about the,
That's great.
Joyce, 911, Dari and Tim Minikin, they came in and gave us a first presentation on what they planned on doing. Are they coming back?
I think they did it.
Main Street,
Main Street?
I think they did around Franklin Savings.
Yeah, they done that. I think they did do some of it. Yeah, remember you, nice to see you.
Because I'm still using the same,
Main Street has been, we're still working on that.
Yeah, but I think he has made some changes because I've seen some letters that have gone out.
that would be nice, because I'm still using as health officer, the old addresses that are really confusing. I have one property owner that's using, I don't even know where the numbers came from. And they're not the numbers that we actually have in town hall. But it's like, so it's,
Anything else for Joyce?
She's going to do an update on the senior center beams later after the.
Yeah, we'll do after.
Oh, okay.
Now you have your maps. And who's doing this? I can run that. Already gave you the information. But you have in your report from Brock about when quarter payment's going to start. It's going to take 3 days, so. I forgot to bring my copy out. Can I just quickly tell the board, I'll have it next week. We have to an elderly person with elderly exemption, a veterans exemption. There was incorrect information that he had moved, so, and he hasn't moved, and he received a tax bill. His tax bill normally was like $400, and got one for like $4,000, or half $4,000. So I've been talking with him, I finally reached him, so I was late coming up here, to let him know that he worked it out and that he will be, I'll have an abatement form for the board to sign next Thursday. So you're not going to be here
Week from
Thursday.
Thursday. Well,
It isn't crucial.
Put it in this, to be signed,
To
we
be
have to
signed,
sign
yeah.
the table anyway.
So, and he's going to come in tomorrow and give me his bill. And I said, great, it'll give me a chance to meet you. And in fact, I'll attach that to the disposition. And then, so we'll abate that first issue, and then everything will self-correct with the December bill. So he says, so I don't have to pay anything this July. And I said, no, just be prepared to pay December.
Joyce, where are we with rebidding this project? I thought we were rebidding that.
Bruce Porter paving.
Oh, is that the project? I can't keep track of it.
I know, and I'm so glad that other people have this.
Sorry, the past few weeks.
Yeah. It's in Brock's report.
I don't have Brock's report. Do you email it?
Yeah, I did.
You put it in his weekly
Yeah.
report.
It wasn't, I don't think it was printed out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Email, it wasn't printed out.
Oh, yeah.
Weekly update. Here it is.
This weekly update.
All right, so this is.
If there's a question about the egress and ingress, I have the letter, I can talk to that. I don't know what you want to do about encroachments. Maybe just listen. This is here from them. Yes, and in that report, he says that, is it Monday or Tuesday, he's meeting with DOT at the sinkhole? Thursday, they choose it to Thursday? Oh, Thursday? That's right, Thursday. So,
What time?
did you say what time? 9? Reese's gonna call us and let us know. And the barricades are up, he put new barricades in.
I saw that. I didn't see a time.
So,
Okay, so it's 6 o'clock, so we're going to start the public hearing on, I think you guys are all here for the same thing. So this is the Class 5 portion of Laconia Road as, what's up there? Joyce can be up there. So we want to get some public input and thoughts on it. We're about to proceed with it, and now's the time to figure out if there's any tweaks or anything we can do to it. So you can hear me better? Thanks. Is that better? So, I don't have a lot to say, but I have a lot to listen to from you guys, so if anybody wants to take a look and ask any questions or suggestions. So it looks like Porter Paving will be completing the job after Labor Day because, as you know, we're right in the middle of everything, and this would just make it a complete mess. So we can bear through it, but this winter will be a lot better. You know, with the drainage and all that will get done, and we won't be interrupting everybody's business and personal lives over the summer on it. And you guys have been great. It's not been something as easy as we thought to get done, and I think you guys all organized real well and figured out some great ways to proceed on something that's been kind of messed up for quite a while. Did anybody have any comments or? Oh yeah, if you could use the microphone. Yeah.
I was just kind of wondering if they're eliminating the sidewalk and the grass to gain right on the road, on the median, and there's enough room there to create all the parking along that thing, and a safety issue in the wintertime. To clean the snow off, yes, right along the main drag, where the grass and that sidewalk that no one ever uses, that width would be all the cars, and you could be able to clean the snow in the winter on the roadside, and on the inside, clean it right against the guardrail, and there'd be no snow banks or visibility. And I think that would be one of the biggest helps for down here.
That would be a no.
Isn't that state?
Yeah, if you notice on your map, or do you have a copy of the map, you'll see that the sidewalk is outside of the town property boundary. It belongs to the state of New Hampshire. That's their median, and that's their sidewalk.
And they aren't getting involved with this stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, Troy, the state's not real,
They're not very forthcoming on things.
I guess not.
I think a road even, unless an island.
Anyone else? Come up here.
Doug Rollins, Craig Wiseman. We own the store. We're excited about all the changes down there. We've been in and talked to some people about what we want to do. We purchased the property next door.
Motorcycle shop
Yeah.
and that old trailer.
Yeah. And right now, currently, I think the only thing that we wanted to talk about, we're looking forward to sharing the parking right down even in front of our store with the lobster connection and the local businesses and whatnot, because it's going to benefit everybody. I was telling Mark, if they park at our store and walk over to his place, or once we decide to do some future things, maybe with ice cream and stuff, they walk all up and down there. It'll be really nice. So I think the proposal for the town to do what they're doing is great. The only thing we wanted to ask about is, and I know this was a hornet's nest a little bit last year, they moved the one-way down right to the edge of the store property or the state property, and we were hoping now that we purchased both properties there, that if they didn't want to get rid of the right of the one-way, move the one-way back over towards the other side of our property.
Right.
So people could come in both ways from the state road.
Which end? Which end?
By the market.
If you use
Up here.
then you could like
Yeah,
back to it up
right
there.
Where the traffic
Here,
lights.
right here.
Here.
So,
Right.
what we were hoping for is, right now, people come in, this is the store, right? We purchased this property. Currently, they come in, they cannot go this way at all, so they come straight in. That only gives us this area here. What we were hoping is now that we have this, we own this property, so it's just to move the one-way sign over to the edge of this end of the property.
And Doug, why don't you tell them where the, show point where the post office is now. So this is the old post office, and what we want to do is use the existing building there and potentially create a little ice cream stand for 3 or 4 months a year there. We're going to tear the trailer down, and then all the rest of the whole piece of property there, we're going to make grass and put some picnic tables and umbrellas for everybody to use, including the lobster connection people, to just use this whole area. But for people to come in and park, it would open it up totally for us if they could come in, because it'll be kind of two contiguous buildings that'll look the same. It'll look like the same piece of property. If people could come in from the street light and just pull in and park in front of it. We could change, if it's possible, we could change that one way and move it up if it has to be a one way to the, that would be to the south of our second piece of property.
Answer that?
Yeah.
I believe if we go to a two-way road, then you can lose all of those side spots next to the island to avoid traffic, so you're gonna lose.
Yeah, but we would be, if we had to make a choice, if we had to put our vote in, we would vote to lose the side, well, I think we would lose the side spot, so people could actually come in and pull it, because I think it's gonna be confusing, because the two buildings are gonna be the same. You're gonna have, we're gonna take the front of the market and make it look like an Adirondack, a building with log home with log siding. We're gonna do the same to the little post office, so with an ice cream stand. It'll look the same, it'll be part of the same piece of property. And so when people come in, it's gonna be awkward to come in and park here, and they're gonna see the ice cream, and then they're gonna realize, oh, I can't go that way, so I have to pull out and go all the way around. If they could just go in and just pull in front and park there, it would be a lot better. And we would, if we had to make a choice, We would rather have that than have those side parking spots.
It's like 7 slots going, and one of the big complaints was lack of parking down there.
We're gonna gain, but we're gonna gain because of the islands, and you're gonna gain a few.
Where?
Well, right next to the store.
Right now,
So you're taking that island right
right
there.
now, you're gonna take this piece here, and you're gonna take this over here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this is where our signs all are right now, which is it's all grass. So now the parking will go straight across. You guys are gonna take this island out, so we're gonna pick up at least 1 or 2 spots there. And we can
And right there, because there doesn't have to be a driveway
That's not a
in.
decision the Board of Selectmen made to take those islands.
Yeah,
We were letting people know that they had encroached, we were talking about letting
Right.
people know they had encroached on town property, but we hadn't discussed. in this
Oh, okay.
project.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna take them.
okay,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I mean, we have all summer to do that.
yeah,
But if you make, just my opinion,
yeah.
not the board's, it's my opinion, if you put that one way all the way down, you are gonna lose, what, 4, you say 5, 6, 7 spots?
Yeah.
You're gonna be so close to that other, right now it's just an ingress, then people will start pulling out into that traffic. The reason we brought it down that far was so people would go out with the light
Yeah.
and not pull into that.
Well, they're doing it anyway, just so you know. Everybody pulls in there and they're going down into Mark's.
Because they get
shop. Because
trapped
they get
pulling.
stuck.
Because what
They get
happens is
stuck.
people come in from the light thinking they're gonna pull in, and all those parking spots in front of our building, there isn't many, are always full, especially during the busy times, and then they look up and they see other parking spots, and then they just go,
They
well,
go,
I gotta pull out at the light, and people are backing up, I'm just gonna drive up, and they do it anyway.
You're telling us we need to have the police take notice.
Well,
Once it's all done, I think
Yeah.
or
Well, we're
fix
jumping ahead.
or
We're
fix it,
jumping
or
ahead.
Well, I
fix
think
it
it's-
so it works a little bit better.
I think we need better signage out there because it's, really don't have a lot of signage with like, do not enter, one way only. We don't have that signage up there yet.
Well, no, you have the do not enter at one way. You
Not
have
as much
Well,
as.
Not as much
people
as
have.
we should have.
once it's paved and done, it would be a lot more
It makes
organized
sense
and
for the
better.
town to take that island and take, because it's a cluster, there's 5 signs in that island. We have one in there, the Adrenaline has one, there's a Moose one, there's 2 mailboxes, there's a one-way sign, I mean, it just looks ridiculous.
There's a lot of potential to make it better, because no matter what, people will pull in from the light to come into the store, and they will, and there's limited spots, and if there's I don't know if there's just a better opportunity, that's all.
Yeah.
And we had even discussed that, we would even be willing to give up, and I don't think we even want to go there and get enough land. We would even make it, because the line comes into our parking lot by the post office a little bit. We were even thinking that we could even give up some of that and even do more parking.
To make it deeper
Make
down
it
so it's
deeper.
wider, and we're happy to do that, to try to make the situation
Because
work.
right now, our parking is, we can park right in here, this is parking.
That's right.
So we could literally, if the town wanted to, I mean, we could even do it. We could have parking in here, which would give plenty of room for.
We'd open that up.
Just an idea,
If,
you know?
if the board agreed to take those spots where what you call islands now and
Yeah.
added, 4, 5, 6 more spaces, and did not take away those other spaces on the opposite side one way, are you still in agreement with the town taking those islands?
I think taking the islands is a great idea.
Yeah.
No matter what happens.
Yeah.
And I would, even if it's,
We're talking about where these properties are.
Right here?
Yeah, exactly.
is it,
Right here.
is it appropriate?
Encroachment.
Right.
Would it be appropriate to ask the board to possibly meet there one time for half an
Site
hour?
review.
Just to walk you around and kind of show us what we have in mind with our future plans, and so we can try to tie it all in together in one shot and make it the best that we can. If we would, I think that's a great idea. If we can tell you what our plans are, and if we can just try to fix this one time. We got this great opportunity to make this waterfront kind of place with the lobster connection, the ice cream, the store, and we can really we can really do something really nice there.
Proper.
Right, make it proper, we want to do the grass, picnic tables, make it nice for everybody. And share that with Mark. We have no problem with his people eating on that little piece of grass and picnic tables.
The other thing is keeping, the residential portion a little more separated from it. So
Right,
they
right.
have,
Yeah.
their access and everything
Yeah.
else is more down. Okay.
We want to do it the best we can and keep everybody happy at the same time.
Is anybody else?
I don't know.
Hey, it is. We're getting there. We're real close. Yeah, I forgot who's next, but
Well, I was kind of wondering with the picture there, right in front of mine, restaurant, it looks like I'm losing all of it,
where are you?
right here.
Right there?
Yep. Yeah, they pull right into mine right there, and it looks like you're gonna take that, and I'm not having any there. So you're turning them the other way. And I
Well, it
don't,
looks like you have 1, 2, 3 parallel.
No, they would go the same way, Mark.
I don't wanna go this way. They pull into mine this way. They don't pull across
Currently,
the
they
front
drive
of my
into the building. They don't
See
go
what
in.
I'm saying? They
Where are you?
pull,
Right here?
no, right there, over one. Right here,
Right
yes.
there.
Okay, I got 1, 2.
Yeah, but that's-
No, they pull in
They go
direct
this
now.
way.
Now?
Now.
Now they pull in this way.
So they would be going in the opposite
So I have
direction?
four places now, when I get down, I have 1.5.
Well,
And then you're gonna take, you're saying you wanna take the ones along the main drag out to gain some down here?
Yes.
Now I'm even losing those and these in front of mine.
No, you wouldn't be losing, you'd be adding.
How am I adding? I'm
If we
losing.
took the encroachment out, we would add parking spaces there.
Right.
So in your case, and I can't tell from the scale of that, there was enough room, they could do perpendicular there.
Yeah, they can
And
come
there's
in
room
one
to be-
place
It
and
it
take.
looks like on the far eastern side, I think that's where the picnic tables are, there's certainly room for perpendicular.
Right.
But yes, if we brought the one-way sign down and didn't take the encroachment down,
You could continue that right in
you
front
would
of mine
lose
this
those,
way.
Yes.
you would lose those parking.
That's what I
That's
think. That's fine, that way.
Yes.
Going across this way, then
So it would be adding to you, not taking.
if they turn those the other way.
That's correct.
If they come in and leave them like that, you're gonna get a truck and a boat there and my parking lot's done. Across the front of my building.
But you'll have at least 4 or 5 on the opposite side to add to that.
Well, I kinda have those there anyway.
Not with the encroachments there. With the encroachments, they're just a bunch of, it's a little hill with some grass.
Oh,
That
yeah,
would
that's
be a
over in
parking
front
lot.
of the condo, but right in front of my gazebo, thing right there, that little building, that's all parking. It kinda comes down and they park right in there, way out where those are,
That's it.
okay? Mostly it's the cluster when somebody comes in for all of us, and they got a big truck and they got a boat behind them. So now you got a 40-foot long thing taking up 8 parking spaces. You know, especially if they put a boat in and leave a boat there for 5 hours and no boat. So that's a real issue. But I guess what I'm saying is we gotta make the package so we're not losing it for anybody, we're gonna be paying it for everybody.
Okay, anybody else?
Come on down.
Or up?
So I'm Cory Carmichael, and I'm here with my husband Jeff, who is the president of the Association of Waterside of Windswan. We reside in one of the condo units at 1011 Lamonia Road between the Lobster Connection and the Gentleman's Sports. We live year-round at the condo, and it is our primary residence. There are 3 other condo units who also use the condos year-round. And my point is, we're not seasonal owners, we do use the property year-round. So we understand. So we understand that the meeting is notification to the abutters of the town's plan to take back the land that's been encroached upon in order to begin your phase 2 of the drainage project. And also, I believe there's a request to change it back to a one-way from a 2-way. So we request that the street remain a one-way, as it is significantly improved the flow of traffic and provided additional parking spaces. When the street was a 2-way, cars parked freely on both sides. And then cars traveled back and forth in between there, and there was always a jam because nobody, like you said, follows the directions or the law. Anyways, so there was not enough space for the parking on both sides with the two-way. The one-way has significantly improved the congestion, the flow of traffic, created additional parking spaces, and defined the parking spaces. The one-way makes the most sense and helps evenly distribute the amount of cars for each of the establishments. I know they're talking about the 3, but there's also property in between their establishments. In regards to the encroachment, we do not dispute the town property, that it is the town property as defined in the map, and you provided to us, and your right to take it back. I would like to note that when the condo units were built, the land out front on the street side were already there. The spruce trees, not rhododendron bushes, is the land area that has been provided as a barrier for privacy for our condo units, as well as helped define the parking lot as private and not for the public. We will most likely request a permit to put a fence along the parking lot in order to maintain like a separation of the parking for private and public. Removing the trees will probably significantly invade the established privacy of the condo units. However, the spruce trees, this is kind of a joke, but true, have been a blessing as well as a curse. Though it has allowed us some privacy, it also is the only piece of land or grass along the roadway, and we continue to pick up after irresponsible dog owners as well as watch both male and female use the trees as their public restrooms. I do have a few questions regarding the new parking spaces out front of the property. Will it impact the mail delivery as well as the trash pickup? The mailman currently drives up to the mailboxes along the roadway. Our trash receptacles are placed out at the street, and if there are cars parked going diagonal as it's demonstrated up there, how will the mail delivery guy come in and the trash be able to come in? Because we put our trash receptacles right at the edge of the property so that they can come in. I guess they use something to pick it up. But if people are parked like that, I'm not just sure how that's going to be and if you've taken that into consideration. We do have a safety concern about leaving our property and our parking lot. When the town creates the new parking spaces outside of our entrance, we currently can drive out both ways and have no obstruction at all. Typically, sometimes there'll be a car that will park along our curbing, but they're not parked diagonal. We now will have to go out past the parking to even be able to look. And can you imagine how difficult that would be with two-way traffic? So I want that to be considered. And then the other question is, what is the ordinance for parking when establishing a new business? I am merely asking to educate myself because I just do not know. I just would like some clarification if parking spaces are designated for these establishments or are they for the use of anyone who is visiting the lake for the day? Because they all are talking about theirs. Is it the town parking or is it for everybody? So those are my questions.
Any parking in the town, where is town parking? Any parking on the town road is town parking.
You maintain it, and it's for us all, right? Whether we are visiting the establishments or public parking. That would be nice.
One quick thing to Corey just said, on that parking, the way you have an angle like that, you can't tell from the design. Will you be bringing in curbing so that they won't keep driving straight into our yard?
Sir, what is your name, please? I'm sorry.
Ian Doyle, 1011 Corner Road, Plymouth Street. See what I'm saying? The way that-
talk right next.
The way that's angled, they can just keep on coming and right up on that, 2 steps to curving. And the other thing I was curious about, with all the changes, I don't know if this is the right place to ask, but with all the changes the store wants to do they just come to this board, or they know the planning board, or I think it's a site plan? Do we need to do any of that?
If they're asking us to make changes, we don't have to go to site plan. You're gonna talk to that again?
Speak up.
There you go, talk into the microphone there.
Well, that's not happening.
You can answer this question.
It is now Catherine's turn to talk
Into the mic.
into the mic.
So So,
Yeah.
answer the question.
Into the mic.
The mic's right there.
Yes.
Pussycat, if the changes that they were asking, if the town makes them on their property, there's no site plan there. But when they started talking about creating a building with the siding to match, that would be an updated site plan. So it's two parts.
So do you have an answer about the trash or the mail? Do you know anything about how we'll trash or mail?
No, but we'll find out.
We'll make sure that we figure something out.
That's an excellent question.
Penard is very good at working with us on stuff, so.
Because I would just hate in the morning, you know, you put it at the edge.
Mhm.
If we have to do the parking, we have to go way out. And then if there's no cars, our receptacles are gonna be like way out there. It's gonna just be.
And then the public might start using it because
Right.
you're at work.
Because if they come 7 in the morning, then as we're gone at work, they're gonna be sitting out basically until the road, until the cars start parking.
And using your receptacles
Or
as
if they're
public.
parked, we're not gonna be able to.
Well,
use them
I'm
out.
sure we'll figure something out. Penard is great at working with us and we'll figure something out.
Joyce has a question.
I'm Ed Crawford from Winnisquam Marine, and I have really bad bronchitis. So I'm going to try to talk. So the parking looks good. We have no problem with any of that, but you boxed us in again. The town was great last year. There's a couple of spots directly out of there, and everybody here doesn't want us driving. The way you have it right now, every truck and every boat is going to go down there to that light. I guarantee you there isn't enough room to do that. I'm sure if you had your engineer do a traffic survey of the turning radius of a 18-foot truck with a 27 to 35-foot trailer, it's not going to work. We went over this last year. Well, okay, so we're all the way to the left.
This is you, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, so right here, okay, right. Okay, so this is the building with the show front, with the store front, and this is a service shop. So when we come out, right now we go out right here, okay? But the way you have this one way, you're gonna send us down here. We can't go out there. We're gonna go down here, and it's not gonna be good, okay? You have to let us out here. I'm sure if you talk to an engineer, I've talked to a land surveyor, and there's no way anyone's gonna put their stamp on that we can get a truck out of there. Plus, when we get deliveries of boats and they pull in there, you're gonna send a semi down that road
So if that
to the
was,
light.
if that was two-way for that section from your driveway to the street.
Because
it would-
we'd be the
that
only
would help,
one.
and that would be easy because it would keep from driving past everybody else down there.
Yeah.
So everybody would be in agreement. That'd be good to let them go out that way.
We'll be the only one going out of there.
If we created that as an ingress and an egress,
Yeah,
For the marine only.
well, we could,
People are filling that driveway.
our one-way sign would start
At the next building.
at,
Lobster.
could it just be?
no,
Start right here.
Right
The
there.
one-way would
Right
start
there.
here.
right, that's what I'm
This
asking.
way.
Yeah,
This is
have it
the-
right
You're
there.
just looking to get
Yeah, if that's right.
Okay.
in between your two buildings, let's say, you're
Yeah.
trying to get ingress and egress,
Right,
and that
right.
access into those two.
Yeah, we just need to go out here. Coming in is no problem, okay? But going out, you can't send us down here. Everybody will hate us.
So right where that,
Yeah.
what is that? Oh, that's supposed to show your ingress and egress right there, that little loop on the right.
What they did last year when the Department of Public Works or DOT, whoever it was, they eliminated a couple spots,
Yeah.
parking spots on the left, and we could sneak out the middle one. But I understand everybody needs more parking, and that's great. But we gotta be able to pull out of
Okay.
there.
Catherine?
Doesn't seem like a big.
Okay.
Catherine, how could we word that going out of that area, taking a two-way just at that point?
Because your one-way starts, let's say, that's a
supposed to be his ingress and egress, that little loop, so you put your sign there one way.
Do not enter.
So no
Yeah.
one,
Enter only,
no
okay.
one from that point to the light
Yeah.
should be
Yeah.
entering
Yeah.
west.
Yeah.
They should be heading west.
You know,
No.
when you think about it, I don't even think you need a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't even need a sign.
Because everything else coming from there
Right,
is
just want to go
allowed.
down there, and.
Well,
As long as there isn't a
From over here.
But I think we do need that, and the reason why I say that is because you're gonna have boats exiting, and people that are gonna be at the Lobster Connection, or they're gonna be down there to Winnisquam, and they're gonna see boats exiting down there, so they're gonna say, oh, they're exiting, so I can exit.
So you're gonna have to have
And they're gonna-
one way,
So,
one way east.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be signage.
Yeah, I think it works.
Arrows on the pavement.
I think it
Yeah,
can work,
yeah,
we'll
but I
figure it
think we gotta figure out how to do that in our language to do it.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
I think we need
yeah.
to accommodate that. I've already sounded stupid, you can join me.
All right, my question is, I'm coming from Belmont, and I want to go get some lobster.
Why would you wanna come from Belmont, number one? Oh, I'm
Well, which
kidding.
way from Belmont? Because it can be either way, Joyce.
Well, let me finish. Okay. So I come in, I want to so here's the lights, I make a left turn. I can't go to the lobster place. So now I go, what do? I gotta turn around and go back out at the light and then go down and then come in. So how are people, because we want people to come enjoy what we have and stay off your property.
Turn in here, right?
Yes.
How are they gonna know that?
And you can turn, because there's
They'll
no
find
big-
out.
You turn left. Just big signal on.
They'll figure it out or go hungry, Joyce, one or the other.
The place gets repeat
They don't want to
business.
do that.
Okay, well, that was just one question.
I just want to give you my thought of how I.
Well, let me just, so that's one thing, let's think about that. Okay, and I already forgot the second question. Oh, I know, I do know, and I want to reassure people, because the reason this project was delayed is because one of the abutters had an attorney ask some questions about rights of access and things like that. So we did have that researched and talked with the state, and we finally, took a while, but we did get an answer from the state saying that all your properties that you have access to those 3 places. We can't take away those 3 places that the state made. So I just want you to know that we know that. That's it. So come on up.
Just so everybody knows, we're throwing out a lot of ideas. We're not, Craig and I's stance on this is whatever works. We have a big business plan there. We realize there's residential stuff, the condo people. We all want to get along. As far as making it with the siding and all that, bringing up future plans for ice cream, we plan on spending a lot of money on engineering and site plan reviews, just so everybody knows. But our main goal is to make that a functional area down there. Make sure you guys get the maximum amount of privacy at your condominiums, because we know nobody wants to be down, people walking across their property. These properties have all been here a long time, since I was a kid. That place has been booming down in that area. It's been like that forever, everybody's gotten along. So, you know, we're trying to beautify the area, make it good for our neighbors, the condo people. If we gotta put up fences for privacy, we're willing to do that. So, whatever, and if there's anybody who wants to come over and talk to us about what would be better for you guys, we're into it. I mean, we just wanna make it work. And, the one-way thing, I don't know, whatever works for everybody. I think, Craig, you're in agreement too, right, as far as whatever. If it works, it'd be great. If it doesn't, we'll come all the way around. I think it's just figuring out for everybody. But I definitely think the board should probably meet at that site and just kind of walk around, because there's a lot of little points. And I know what Mark's talking about in front of his little eating shack. People pull right up almost into that, right? So, you know, there's things that could be really could be really nice for that whole thing, if it's done right.
I agree with you, though. There's a lot of opportunity there, and we all collectively put our heads on it there and try to figure out the best for everybody.
Well, it's great that we've gotten so far that we do have a plan. It's getting paved, it's going to be done up, and it's going to drain right. We got that. And right now, yeah, that was huge. I mean, everybody's been great with that. And now we're working out the other parts that all of the ideas everybody's presenting here will be put into that to try and, you know, make it flow. There's some things that I hadn't thought about, the rest of the board. And this is, you know, really great. So.
I just want to apologize to Peter because I had cut him off so I wouldn't lose my train of thought, so
That probably cut you
I
off.
wanted to know what you wanted to say.
It's gone.
Okay, I apologize.
I was thinking of what everybody said, and it's right in here,
If you could,
like you're all
Or
pointing
in
my
there.
finger here. So if you're coming in right here to Eddie's place, and just turns one way right here, and this is where the one-way stops. And then you can go in and out here, and in and out down here. But only one way, right to here, and then they could exit out, or you can go down and exit out, or come in and go out, but only one way, right here. There's not enough room between these buildings and that thing to have a two-lane road, and one way all the way down is restrictive. So let's keep this two-way, and one way right in this little section, and I think that would benefit everybody.
I agree.
Except for us.
So to my point, the marina gets out when they do theirs, the Boston Connection, they have the store there and us there. We all have our own objectives, we all have exactly how we all think it should go. Because we would disagree with that, we wanted to go just one more block over to help our.
So up to the condo one way,
Their ice
then,
cream stand down to the store at the very most. We don't want to do, yeah. And like I said, Marina wants theirs, Boston Connection wants theirs, but we also want ours, so. We don't want the one-way stopping at the Boston Connection, we want it to go to the ice cream stand.
From our personal standpoint, you put the one-way just on the other side of the condo, it works fine for us. That would be optimal for us too. I don't know how it works for the lobster connection, but that way people can access from the light and come in and just park and do that. So whatever, but again, whatever works for everybody,
It's gonna be confusing to the public to have a section one way and another two-way, that's my
not enough
opinion.
room to park on both sides
yeah.
of the road.
One of the thing that's really good to decide is how wide it actually is and measuring it out. Can two cars park and go that way? And plus, if you have it two-way, and you're coming in from that direction, going that way, you can't have angled parking spaces like that. They'd have to be straight out. So now the cars are closer, there's a narrower travel path. So we have to do a lot of measuring.
Significantly improved from the two-way to the one-way, so going backwards is just not ideal. Because I think
It's all going to be, measure it all out.
other than the store, it's not working for the store, I think for the, yeah, but
Okay.
it is for everybody else.
Come on down. Step right up. Identify yourself.
Laura Johnson, 1025 Laconia Road. Again, thank you guys for all your hard work. You guys have really been working hard to help all of us, and we appreciate it. Appreciate your hearing us all out. For us, this is the same thing as last time. We're all for more parking. The one thing is the way that map shows, it blocks our driveway. And I know that we've talked about it before, that's why they got rid of those parking spots and put the 2 on the end. But it doesn't reflect here, so I just wanted to, I guess, remind. And we had sent the survey to the town, just to corroborate all that. But you guys were aware of it last year, it just doesn't show on here. So I just want to make sure, if anybody needs any information, let us know.
I thought there were 3 spaces.
There were, now what they do at the end, here, they got rid of these, 'cause that's actually our yard, or our driveway. And then they got rid of this, and this one here, and one here. And this one here.
You know, the date on this is May of 2017.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
any changes?
No, I know. Well, yeah, I think they did it right after that, like, right after this. It doesn't show on this, and I know it doesn't. I just wanted to remind,
that we won't surprise my neighbor, did send a town power survey.
Do you have the updated one, Joyce?
We've never had an updated one. This is.
Robin made changes after these were
On
printed.
site, yeah, and we didn't change.
But we know about it.
Yes.
Got it.
I remember seeing it come through.
Yeah, yeah. and it's
I
great,
remember
it's
about
very-
doing, she had it surveyed.
We didn't get the we got a partial copy, which, and that's, I say the whole thing, it's.
No, Darby said he got the whole thing.
All right, we haven't seen it. We only
But
saw.
This is just a copy, but there is, Darby did say this is
Oh, that's fine.
but he has the big version,
Yeah, okay.
and yeah, I probably did send a commercial one when I was sending out this. I asked
Yeah.
him, you know, if it's a small.
I think we saw like this part, he was
Yeah,
asking.
I asked him
Right.
to focus it
The whole
to
thing.
make it so it was printable.
Yeah.
But that was too small for anybody to really see.
And the only other suggestion I would maybe suggest to neighbors to think about is timing during the day on the parking. It doesn't make any difference to us. You know, we're parked for the day when we're there, but sometimes if you put, like they're saying, if a boat or a trailer comes in and parks there for 5 hours, it impacts you guys. So during the day, you might want to consider putting a time limit on some of that parking, even if it's 2 hours, so you don't. Yeah, somebody did, and I think everybody was on board for that, and I think it would help the businesses. And then for us, who have people that might stay overnight in one of the spaces, it wouldn't affect the overnights, but during the day, it would work out for you guys. So maybe keep that open.
What does everybody think about time, you know, by timing the parking spaces from, you know, from, let's say, 9 AM to 10 PM, that you can only park a certain amount of time, and what is a reasonable amount of time?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
2 hours? 2 hours?
Who's going to enforce it?
I brought that up.
Excuse me. That's all good for the stores, but what about visitors for us? Right in front of the condos, you give us public parking spots. They may want to stay better than 2 hours.
What about a resident sticker?
Meters.
Peter's
Well,
got that.
What about a resident sticker? Something that, you know, allows you guys.
She indicated
Or-
overnight parking. Does the town allow overnight parking on the town property? Or is it-
We have a
Get
special
offline?
parking lot that we have overnight parking at. And they have to purchase a sticker that, placard to put on their bars.
Parking lot.
Down in there?
Yes, behind the fire station.
No resident on that town parking.
On the map.
It's on the map, yes, it's municipal parking.
She was wondering if these are
So-
overnight parking available.
Oh, if these are overnight parking available, if they're public parking, we have to make that decision.
Okay,
That's a decision to make, that's a good
Well, she
point.
just had asked that, she had said that.
can,
so I was-
can we get back one person at a time and not debate amongst everybody? So what I'm looking for is suggestions. So we have a 2-hour parking, and then we also, and I'm taking notes of everything, we'll let you know. We have a 2-hour, and then we have the, around the condo that people would like to be able to park longer than that.
We do have a municipal parking ordinance for municipal parking lots.
Anybody else have any suggestions on parking?
Resident sticker?
Resident sticker?
Yeah, the resident sticker, maybe wants a day person or something, so we don't have to do it.
The more ideas, the better. If anybody else has any other ideas, or if they come up with something, can they get in touch with us? Because we have to Labor Day, we'll be paving it, we can, and that's after that one, signs and parking spaces. It's going to be the Wild Wild West again this summer, but enjoy it. Make the best of it. Yeah. So we got 2 hours around the condos with suggestions for some resident parking, resident stickers. Then,
The mailbox, trash.
oh, I got that. I got trash in the mailbox.
The curbing for the end of the.
And, yeah, and I've got the, to keep people from driving further onto the lawns and that. That was Dan, right? Dan.
two-way at the end.
I got the two-way at the end. That was Ed that brought that in. Exit from Westernly. And we've got the minutes, Jill Street, 1 month.
So the 2-hour parking, I know store employees park out there as well, so would that be a resident parking, so the store employees can park out there, or they get 2 hours and they can get parking either,
I
so
think they did.
they have to park for their.
Resident parking.
So,
Like, same thing with like Mark, his employees.
Well, let me
park
talk about
out
that.
front, and it's 2 hours.
let me talk
Pat.
about parking and the issue that we've had about municipal parking, and we do have a parking ordinance downtown. First of all, we have to have the resources in order to enforce it. And we have to have the officers in order to enforce it. We have an issue right now with employees of businesses downtown parking downtown in front of other businesses. So there's like a little war going on, which is why we created the parking issues of the bans and ordinance to begin with. So we created all this parking and leasing parking spaces out back so that we could get everybody off the streets, so that we could have merchant people coming to spend money downtown. And now we still have the issue of the owners and employees still parking downtown, and they watch the police or explorers come downtown. So we can make all the rules and regulations that we can see, resident stickers, we have them, 2-hour parking, we can have them, but we can't guarantee that they're going to be enforced. If, in fact, we don't have any drug deals going on in the evening, or car crashes, or something happening in the town, or speeding, or something like that, maybe we might be able to get to Winnisquam Market to make sure that that person isn't 3 hours instead of 2 hours. You see, it's really not a high priority, and that's the sad part about it, because there aren't the resources right now that we would like to see. So, we can make those rules, and they're great points, and there are some points to think about. Do we make it an overnight parking? I don't want to see overnight parking up there up by Winnisquam. No way. We have overnight parking down here, and it's a nightmare for plowing, particularly. So, very good points being brought up, and they're really things that we have to think about.
What parking was the condominium complex use? Do you guys park out? You guys have a parking lot.
Right.
So how many parking spaces per unit?
Each unit gets 3. So
3
2 for
per
owners,
unit.
and then we can have a visitor, and then any over 1 visitor, we would have to use that side as well.
Okay. So, that's nice that they have that too, so I don't know, you just gotta be careful, you start putting resident parking out on the street. It's the same thing with our employees, we try to look jockeying them around like, every day.
Your employee are parking over, you're not parking at the store, right, you're parking
We've been
down.
moving them over to
Exactly.
our parking lot over at the
We've been putting them now in front of the adrenaline motors.
So your Mark's
Yeah.
employees park up for him, so that's my point.
Yeah.
We're usually taking these spots, and people want these spots, and there's other people to be considered, and people in town who want to come and take, as well as people who want to visit your establishments.
Right.
So there's only so much parking you lose, and that has to be fair to all.
And you're not going to be able to regulate
Right,
regulate it like you think you're going to regulate it. It is public parking.
Exactly. That's why I was
It's
asking
gonna be
about
tough,
the
but-
ordinances of businesses for parking. Like, when you open a business, I thought there was an ordinance. I have so much parking at the public restrooms. I don't know. I really don't know.
New
Depends on
site
the area
plans.
in which you're at. I
Area.
mean, downtown, it depends on the area. I mean, downtown, they're limited in parking, so it's different from if they went to planning board and established a business somewhere where they have to have in their site plan adequate parking depending on the establishment that they have.
Yeah, so I just don't know.
Some of them, and some of them are grandfathered.
We've also had to put up a private property sign, private parking sign, because they tend to see our parking lot and want to use that also. So we want to make sure that it's marked properly, or whatever laws or signs you guys want to put up.
Yeah.
Signs do help. They cut down drastically.
Yeah.
At least
Signs
50%.
do help a lot,
Yes, they do.
because, it's one of those things, nobody said I couldn't do this, so
Right.
you put a sign up and they'll,
They are
at
determined.
least they'll,
Once we told the car, we're gonna be towed, they stop using our parking lot for those establishments and all day road.
Come home and find strange cars in the
Or you can't park.
Gail has a question.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The place across the street from you all right there with the old Daniel's Artesian Well,
Yes.
that's not open on the weekends, is it? Could somebody get in touch with them and ask, hey, can we use your parking space on the weekends? You know, like, and put up a sign, overflow parking weekends only.
Since Gail didn't have a microphone, I'm going to say, Gail brought up a suggestion, that possibly, the old, was it Tyco or?
Daniel's Artesian.
Daniel's Artesian Well or something could provide parking for week and only, or employees or something like that to help keep spaces, so maybe we can get some more neighbors involved. So,
She's allowed us to use the parking lot.
They do.
Thanks.
If I want to put all my employees over there, I can put them over there.
That's great,
We've done it
yeah.
for years, so I
Yep.
try to keep that promotion right out of there. I park one car in front of mine, I like my lobster truck there, because it lets everybody know that I'm there with lobsters.
And you can do whatever you want there.
Yeah,
We
it's
don't
not
mind.
in the public.
We don't mind that.
So I use it here for a
Keep it right
reason.
along.
I have my employees, they can park right over again.
yeah. We're doing good, we're pretty close. We get, I think we're gonna get this done, right? So, I think that's it. And if,
Did everybody sign the book so we know who was here? Okay, thank you.
yeah, and it's always, if you have any more information. I think everybody had a chance to talk, and if you come up with something over the summer, we have till Labor Day, the paving's getting done, we're not gonna change that. But the parking, if there's something that we can figure out, we'll all work together on it.
Yeah, notification of final decision.
Okay,
We'll be doing this again.
yeah. Might have
Well, I
to
thought
get,
that would be done around a barbecue up at the Lobster Connection. No? Oh.
after Labor Day,
Stop at the store and drink all the beer you can.
Oh, do not tell Catherine Dawson that.
Sign on the dotted line.
It will be this fall?
it says after the Labor Day holiday. Perfect time, be quieter, you can all come up there, get the paving done, we'll take a look. And I think they use chalk lines and stuff like that before they put out the parking, And I'm hoping that we can, if we don't please everybody, we can at least, the people that aren't pleased are 98% pleased. So, yeah. Great. Well, thanks.
So are we as a group going to go up and take Doug up on his suggestion to go up and take a look at the encroachments? Because we really need, only because he offered something free. I'll take him up on the pizza, I'm going. Yeah, can we?
I think
Yeah.
you should go up and take a look. Especially when all the parking is going on and see what it looks like.
So maybe after Memorial Day that we can go up.
Yeah.
So in a couple weeks, maybe we can go up.
Over the 4th? Oh, over the 4th. Before the 4th.
Oh, yeah, we'll never get in there after the 4th, right?
Yeah, Brian.
We'll let you all know we're coming. No.
Save a parking space. Parallel out there.
Before we adjourn, what are your busy times for school? Morning, lunch, and then for your restaurant typically is, I guess. 5.
No, lunchtime in the summer it can go right through. Yeah. There might be a 2-hour lull in the middle of the afternoon, but other than that, it's from like 11 until the
Alright,
this time of year.
So the overlap,
It overlaps each other.
if time lunch and then.
Right. Yeah, well, we are breakfast.
So morning till 10
Yeah,
o'clock?
just-
8 to
We
10?
shut at 8. Well, 8 now on Friday and Saturday. We don't want to stay open late because we don't want to draw that kind of crowd at night.
So 8 to 8?
We open at 6 right now, and we close at 7, except for Friday and Saturday, we close at 8.
Okay.
We're 10 here.
And you're what, Mark?
We're 10 o'clock.
10 to 8?
And we get roll pipes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Are you adjourning this?
Great.
The sun's still on.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Right. Laura and I are very. Correct. Laura and girls.
Will we recess for 5 minutes?
Yes, we were.
People. They're up,
Recess
we'll
for
resume
5
the
minutes.
meeting.
We are red, red is on.
Okay, so welcome back. We had a brief recess while the residents from the, the Winnisquam area, Laconia Road business owners were departing. So the next thing on our agenda is selectmen's reports.
Yes,
I agree.
I agree.
At least for a while.
I'm going to ask this guy to deliver. Oh, take the sinkhole. Oh, no, the sinkhole's out there.
No, those should say that. I think that's a good thing. So what are we adding?
The check from,
No. Not mail. Oh, I need that, no, sinkhole. Oh, no, sinkhole.
check
Already
from
had into it.
Fairfield was on there.
Here's a sticky up here. We should all have stickies.
So,
And Kleenexes, Gail.
Yeah.
for now, hold it.
I had to go over and steal it from Sheena. I think they might use them in other meetings. I do have something for selectments.
Okay. Go ahead.
So this will involve Joyce, so Joyce can add her 2 cents in here. I met with Ron Belanger at the senior center. Ron is the one that we asked to go up and look at the beams, the floor underneath the kitchen. And he came up with another person. Chuck, is it?
I don't know.
Chuck Strand, I think his name is Chuck Strand. So he went underneath the kitchen, and there's only one beam going across the kitchen floor, and that is between the kitchen and the hallway, which the door is hanging, that wall. That's the beam, the big beam that's holding the floor. That's what's going off of that. That's why the floor is dipping so much. So he's proposing 3 or 4 by 4 in the area where it's dipping down a good 6 to 8 inches where it's coming down, and then jacking it up, sistering it in that area, making the floor reasonably level. At that point, we can go out and ask around for new flooring, because it will basically destroy the floor once you do it. The floor is all cracked and everything now anyway because of the
Top side down, or are they working?
upside down.
Is this a belly job, or they're gonna crawl underneath there?
He said he was surprised that he thought it would be worse than it was, what it is, because he was able to get in there and then he had room to be able to get some jacks in there and things like that, so he's going to be able to do that. At the same time, he felt that the windows, I don't know if that, did you get the estimate?
For the windows?
No, did he?
No, he didn't, I haven't
He
talked
didn't
to
send
him.
the estimate.
No.
He hasn't sent that estimate yet to them. I asked him to take a look at a couple of things that we're going to submit for grants this week, and he did send me the information on that. But however, when we met them there, when we met Ron, we noticed right away that on the porch, the front porch of the senior center, the railing on the left-hand side, the white original porch railing. So you're walking up the stairs, going in the front door on the left-hand side, the original white porch, all the bottom board drop down, and all the balusters all are disconnected completely. They just, if you touch them, they're going to fall. They're coming down. So this whole unit has to come out, and they have to be screwed in with some type of a non-corrosive screw, because they're all, you can see, all corrosive over the years. This is way before our time. Way before our time. But you can see that it's just all come down over the winter. This happened. Nobody's noticed it. So we need to fix this fairly soon, because this is a safety issue.
And he looked at that as well?
He looked at that. He did include it in on our bid for our stuff that we were going to go for as a grant. But he didn't separate it out on how much it would cost. The other thing that I don't know if we can have, I think Leland could do that work. I think that Leland can take the railing, the whole railing off, and then secure with screws underneath the balusters to the main, and then just repaint it. But they would have to be non-corrosive screws that are being done.
They're very crafty.
Yeah, I mean, he's very talented. I think he could do that. The other thing that he noticed, and he had mentioned it to Joyce prior to me meeting him there, at the corner, if you're looking at the front building, at the left-hand corner towards the sidewalk, I didn't take a picture of that, the foundation, there's two very large cracks in the foundation. He said if you don't fill those cracks in the winter, water's going to get in and they're going to get much larger. So we need to fill those cracks. I'm assuming that the Public Works could fill those cracks.
And he won't come to the parking too.
And that's how you do it? Okay, because he did put that into my estimate, but I mean, we can easily say, no, we're not going to do that, so that's really not an issue, but it should be done to preserve the building.
When you say cracks in the foundation, I wasn't aware that building is on a foundation, it's stone.
It's a stone base.
The mortar
It's
keep up.
stones that have been mortared. I don't even want to use the word concrete, right?
Right.
So the cracks are in mortar?
It's right in the corner, like this, and if you look at the left corner, it's mostly mortar, mostly concrete, if you would, and then if you go over about maybe 6 inches, so it starts stone and mortar. But in that corner where it's concrete, there's a crack, a small crack, but then over about 6 inches, there's a good size crack. It starts up like this and then it goes down. But it's probably a good, at the top, 1 3/4, 2 inches.
So the way construction specializes in foundation cracks, leaks, ceiling basements, as far as concrete.
It's in mortar.
Well, this is a definite crack, that's settling crack type of thing. If you don't, he's right, you're gonna get water into it and it's gonna crack more and will end up being a corner. You don't want it to crack on both sides of the corner and then now the corner will come out.
Rocks fall out.
Right. The one issue that Ron had underneath the kitchen was that he noticed that there was a drain pipe that he didn't see anything in the kitchen that would be associated with. So once we started talking about it, it dawned on me that was the old well going to the pipes, and I said, no, that's an existing old well that we have hooked up out back. And so it goes underneath the kitchen, so he has to drop that pipe in order to put those beams up. So when you get the estimate, that's part of the job to do that.
A water well or a dry well?
Water well. The original water well, and then when John Bernard hooked us up to the Lockmere Village water, we still created 2 spigots, one in the back, one in the front, in case we wanted to do car washes or power wash the building or something like that. We still had existing, or if the water went bad, we could always have a backup. But we need to flush that every once in a while too, right? Because that hasn't been flushed since you try to do the spigot now and it's like root beer.
And it would be for a while.
And then you just drain it, right?
The salt is.
If you were going to use it for potable water,
Yeah.
then you'd have to probably shock it. I mean, you probably have it's a dug well.
Yeah.
So you definitely have coliform bacteria in it. So you probably have to shock it. If you're just going to use it for car washes, it wouldn't take long for the turbidity
For gardening
to
or something.
straighten out. You just have to run it for a bit.
So this dry well has a pump in the
It's
bottom
not
of
a
it?
dry well, it's dug well.
Dug
It's a
well.
water well.
There's a pump in the bottom?
I don't know, does it have a submersible or does it have a pump in the building?
The pump's in the building.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so it's sucking
This
up
is an
on.
old well, this well went with the building when the building was built, so.
Right.
I'm sure it's a dug well with it's probably must be a puzzle pressure tank.
What about the front ramp?
Okay, so yesterday, the executive committee met and coming out of the building, the ramp going up, the Eagle Scout ramp that he built. Just as you were looking up the ramp, right as it begins, there's a 4x4 beam that comes up. And then the balusters begin. Well, somehow or other, the beam is pushed out towards the road by about 2 inches. So it caught my eye, and I wanted to know what happened. So I looked underneath, and you can actually see that there's a bare screw underneath there and the beam is out. And Rob was there from Highway, and I said, can you help me look at this for a minute, because you have to get underneath and look. Well, from the beam, about 10 or 15 balusters up, all along the bottom were all loose. So it looks like somebody coming down the ramp might have pushed them in, a wheelchair or something like that. They're all out. And I described it to Brock. He said it wouldn't be an issue, that they could get it in. I think it's going to be more of an issue because I tried to push the end one in, and it was almost like dried and warped, so it may have to be, that end one may have to be replaced, I don't know, but they're very talented, so I'm sure that they're going to be able to fix it, but that's a safety issue, so. But we're combining 3 different projects for a grant. It should go out within the next few days. We're going to go for the security lighting for the remainder of the building, the LED lighting. As a while back, my cousin from Fewer Lumber had given us a pallet of mismatched lumber. So we're going to use that in the outbuilding, the outhouse portion of the building, and insulate, put some sheeting up, make sure that no animals can get in, and then use that wood for wall and shelving so that we have some extra storage for everything that's in the senior center, because it's being used so well now that we really need storage out in the building. And then put a workable LED light. We have one light bulb in that section. That's it. So the other project is, and we don't know if Ron can do it or not because he's going to bring a camera. He's poke a hole and put a camera in. Where the furnace is in the kitchen, they're next to the door, to the right of the door in the kitchen. It's sheetrock, probably about 31 inches. And behind that, it's empty space. You can see that it's somewhat empty space next to the furnace. I have a sneaky suspicion it has something to do with the chimney. We don't know how far back we could go, but we would like to open that space up, put shelving in, so that we have right now a portable cart that we move around with all our utensils on it, and it takes up space in the room. So if anybody with the wheelchair would like to come in and help, they can't get around, they have to move that wherever they go. So they would like to put the silverware and everything in that open pantry type of thing that they build. So those are the three projects that we want to go after for grant. So I hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, we get them.
Do the furnaces in there?
The furnace is on the left-hand side, behind a door, and that takes up that space. And then if you look up, you'll see a duct go up. But if you go outside the building and look up, it's almost in line with the chimney.
Just to make sure that they have the proper clearances.
Yep. Yep. So he's going to come in, go in the closet where the furnace is, and poke a hole and put his camera in to see if the chimney's in there. Otherwise, he's not going to open it up. It's not worth it. And then we'll just scratch that idea.
Good.
Catherine?
No, that's it.
Yeah, we have a non-public personnel. So I'd like to make a motion, we go into non-public session pursuant to RSA 91-A:3, paragraph 2, that pertains to personnel.
What part of personnel?
You give the list.
The dismissal, promotion, or compensation of any public employee, or the disciplining of such employee, or the investigation of any charges against them. Unless they have the effectiveness right for meeting. And then D is the hiring of any person or public employee.
Are we hiring?
Is it on that one?
What is it about?
I don't know.
Me?
So, yeah.
Well, going with what you're saying, do we need a non-public?
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's definitely. I'd say 8.
The dismissal, promotion, or compensation of any public employee, or the disciplining of such employee, or investigation and charging us, okay. I'll second that.
So if, a second, all those in favor, or no, actually, roll call vote?
Dawson, yes.
Scanlon, yes?
Yes.
Yes, I don't know what it's about.
We are red is on, timing 7:35.
Get us straightened.
Make a
Blow
motion.
dry.
Minutes of the non-public because they contain personnel.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? So moved?
Make a motion to adjourn.
It's okay, so why did it come back so curly?
My hair is